Sean, Coach had a lot of great things to say about your performance the last couple of weeks. What do you think you've been able to do to have so much success against two really good defensive ends?
Um, it just comes down to preparation. Two very talented guys. It all starts Sunday night. Film prep, watching what they do, and then as the week goes on, we make a game plan for them, and it really comes down to just trusting whatever technique. It really doesn't change for these guys. So whatever Coach Anderson's been coaching since camp, that's what same thing you got to do and execute against them.
And when you're having some success and other guys, whether on the line or elsewhere on the offense, are struggling a little bit more, is there anything that you try to do or say to them, or do you just kind of try to mind your own side of things?
I just try to lift everyone up. No point in dwelling on whatever bad happened last drive or last play. So if I see anyone, starting to get a little upset or anything, I'll try to pick them up, remind them next play, next play. You always got to have that mentality that the game's going to keep going on. So I try my best to make sure that no one falls into that.
And as an offensive lineman, more of a complementary position. You're not exactly, you can't carry the ball and score touchdowns. When a team is struggling like this, how do you guys keep your morale up as a group, given that there's only so much you can do?
Well, we've made a commitment to ourselves that, the Northwestern offensive line, we know who we are. We're a tough group, we're a physical group, and we're not going to change regardless of what's happening in the game. So it's really just us on the sideline saying, look, things aren't going the way we want them to be going. But that doesn't mean we can change, because the second we start to falter, then there's just no hope at all. So really for us, it's just being consistent.
Hey, Rashawn. Fitz said he thinks you could play any position on the offensive line, but you've gone from right side to left side. Which one do you think? Which one do you like better, and which one do you think is your more natural position?
I don't know if any of them are natural. Really, offensive line is a very unnatural position. But I think what's been biggest for me is just experience. I think I'm the best version of myself I've ever been as a player right now. But it's not because I switched over. It's just because I've been here for 3 years now. And the expectation is I'm going to keep getting better every week, every year. And so, yeah.
Why is it an unnatural position?
It's because, I don't know, think about what you're not born wanting to, be violent. I think as human beings, we want to eat, we want to sleep, stay safe. And it's very different when you're on the gridiron and, guys are being violent, throwing punches, and everything's coming at you 1,000 miles an hour. It's a very intense environment. And so I think for anyone to be in that position, not just O-line, but running backs, receivers, quarterbacks, DBs, whatever it is, football is not a natural game. And so you really have to get your mind right to do what we do on that field. I don't know. I guess it just comes from years of experience, and playing for your brothers to your left and your right, and love for the game.
As Aiden has gotten more and more starts, how have you seen him change and grow as a quarterback?
Aiden's, he never backs down. He always wants to be consistent with his preparation, and I've seen him step up in leadership in his preparation. He's really taken ownership of the offense, and we haven't gotten the production we wanted, but at the end of the day, that trust is there, and we're just trying to build that trust every week.
Can you give an example with how he stepped up in leadership?
Yeah, like going into camp, he was probably listed like the fourth quarterback on the depth chart, and now on Mondays it's him sending the group chat, hey, O-line, QBs, receivers are going to meet and go over this protection or this protection plan, whatever it is. So he's really stepped up, and he knows that the expectation's on him now. So.
Messages before Aiden.
It's usually guys who are in more leadership positions. So, last year it'd be whoever's starting, quarterback, Jared Thomas maybe. It's really just tradition at this point. So, I don't know if it's that much to look into. Everyone's on the same page about that.
Isaiah, Coach said a couple weeks ago you've been banged up this season. Are you fully healthy at this point?
I wouldn't say I'm 100%. Close, but still working to be 100%.
And then for you and Drake as the two lead guys, both in your second year at the program, how have you guys tried to work with each other to sort of deal with the team-wide struggles?
In the running back room, not just me and Drake, but all of us, we just we know we're out there to do. We're out there, protect the quarterback, run routes, run the ball, obviously. So we're really just focused on what we're supposed to do individually, and then, because we got to perform individually before we can, take control of the team. So, obviously, spreading knowledge to the younger guys in the room. But yeah.
How would you describe Aiden Smith's personality?
Aiden's I'd say he's a confident guy. I'd say Aiden's very confident. He's a funny guy if you get to know him. Yeah.
Isaiah, have you sensed that you've been targeted a little more by opposing defenses this year? Maybe they just more aware of you than they were last year?
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Last year when we went to Iowa, I had a pretty good game. So, I mean, I'd say they were probably, getting a little more prepared for me this year than last year.
How do you combat that?
I just know it tells me I got to work harder. If they're gonna, game plan, or get their guys to, want to stop me. So I obviously have to, step up my game to, elevate over those guys.
What has the addition to Kyrick to the running back room brought the different sort of sense to the room?
Can you,
Yeah, back what? How has Kyrick introduction to the running back room changed its dynamic?
I mean, I wouldn't say he's an introduction to the running back room. He's still a receiver. He still goes to receiver meetings, but we motion him back sometimes. Sometimes he's obviously goes in as running back. I don't know. He adds some. He's a fast guy. Adds some speed. Good. Obviously, he runs good routes, so he can help us in that aspect if we want to split out to go wide.
Offense, there's been a real lack of sort of big dynamic plays this year. Why do you think that?
It just goes back to preparation. I guess when that's not preparing correctly.